last time we were in LA, so now we're in New York. But you lived here for a bit, right?
Yeah, I grew up here, and I've spent like periods of time in my 20s when I lived here for like a couple years at a time.
Yeah. I imagine like filming and everything. Well, last time you were considering getting your 10-year-old a phone. Did you do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I haven't either.
No.
So I have a 10-year-old and she wants a phone real bad.
I mean, he pretty much every day he asks me for
Me
a
too.
phone.
Mine too.
And every day I say no.
Yeah.
And it is very sweet.
Oh, mischievous little look in that eye.
Just
yeah.
He's so, I love him so much. But I now am at a point where he could potentially go to this school that he has to walk to from our house. And I said, if you have to walk to school and back, you then can have a flip phone with no access to the internet.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's the point of that?
I think that's compromise.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was also like, why do you need a phone? You have an iPad.
That's what I
Who
say.
are you calling?
You have a girl and boy, right?
Yes.
That's a different. So it's very different. Raising
Oh my
them is
gosh.
very different.
My daughter is like a wild feral creature, extremely self-possessed. But she's
She's gonna run the world.
Yes. I have a lot of respect for her.
Yeah.
But she can't handle anything scary. She it's so interesting because Freddie could handle like scarier stuff from a very young age.
Yeah.
But she can't handle anything scary, and yet she is the more terrifying of the two children.
Then, yeah.
You have to ask
Girls and
her,
boys are different.
Oh my God, was your little girl
Hey,
like this?
yeah.
I had to ask.
Yeah.
I have to ask
Yours
her
is
if I
what,
can kiss
3?
her. Yeah. I have to be like, Cleo, can I give you a
Mine's
kiss? I can't. Well, that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Does it lessen? Is this a toddler thing?
No. Here's the thing. For all the times that I'm like, oh man, she's gonna kill me. At the same time, she's so impressive and she's so wonderful.
Yeah.
And it is different too. Like girls and boys are so different. Like she's just very powerful.
I love my child.
Yeah.
I do love her very, very much. But she just is this mix of like affectionate and loving, but also like so self-possessed, so strong-willed, and so you can't call her any term of endearment. She's like, that's not my name.
Have your kids tried to call you by your name?
Oh no, Cleo calls me Christina in her crib at night, and there was the one time it happened, and it has happened more than once. But I had the monitor on, and I hear her wake up in the middle of the night, and I hear, Mama, and then she says, Daddy. And then she calls her nanny Becca. And then it gets really quiet. And so I thought she fell back asleep. So I think I kind of fell back asleep. And then I hear, Christina! I was like, left out of my skin. I left out of my skin, like, had a heart attack. I was like, my mom's yelling at me. I'm in Mommy Dearest. Like, hit myself on a thing. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta get the baby who's screaming at me.
She's yelling Christina in the baby monitor. Oh, she's gonna be awesome.
She's really fun.
Yeah.
She's really, really fun.
It is fun because it's like sometimes when they're beautiful and a disaster, you're like, what's gonna happen? What is your future?
True, I see these other little girls and they have braids in their hair. They actually let their parents brush their hair or braid them, and Cleo's just like a wreck. Because like maybe you can grab her head and put it in a ponytail without brushing it, and then it looks insane.
My daughter does not like you to touch
But normally it's just like a wild
little
woman,
hot mess express,
like a cave girl.
Yeah,
basically.
Do you know what I just found out? I just found out my son, he's 8. Look, I'm trying to give him privacy. He's a boy, and so I've let him shower by himself, for the past couple years, right? Well, for those past couple years, apparently, he has yet to use soap. I was creating healthy boundaries, and you have just run across all of them, sir. Like, what? I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I was like, why does your hair look so weird? Like, what is happening? And he was like, what do you mean? And then River outed him, my daughter. He doesn't use soap. And I was like, okay. And he was like, no, I don't. And I was like, what? He hasn't used shampoo and conditioner or soap I don't know how long, because I was trying to give him privacy. Yeah. And I was like, we taught him. It wasn't that somebody didn't teach him.
I have a similar problem with my son that left to his own devices, he will claim to have washed his hair, and he never does, ever. I always have to show up, and I'm like, all right, time to go. Yeah. And then he's like, no, don't do it. It's so awful when you do it. And I'm like, how else are we gonna have a clean head?
He does, and then now he hates it, but I'm like, well, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to see the bubbles. You lost your privilege. Boundary gone. Anyway, we're gonna, mom troubles, here we go. We're gonna do a little quick commercial break, y'all, and Katie's gonna help us out.
Hi, Kelly and Christina. I am so excited for the return of Yellowjackets. Christina, I love your portrayal of Misty. I never know whether to trust her or to be terrified of her. I may be alone in this, but all spoilers are welcome. Stay here. Kelly has more with Christina after this.
We are back with Christina Ricci. Season 3 of her show Yellowjackets drops tomorrow on Paramount Plus with Showtime. So you've also got another project that I want to talk about. It's called Cat Full of Spiders.
Yes, it's
Yes.
the Cat Full the Cat Full of Spiders Tarot Deck and Guidebook.
Yeah.
And so it's my tarot deck. You know,
How did you get into tarot? When
well,
did you get into
I was on a movie when I was 14, and one of the characters, we were in a scene.
Is it Now and Then?
Yeah, Now and Then.
I love Now and Then.
And Janine Garofalo reads our tarot.
Yeah.
In the thing, and I had never seen tarot, and so I was curious about it, and then Gabby and I sort of got into it a little bit, and then throughout my life I've sort of been interested in different kind of mystical, you know, the crazy lady arts.
Yeah.
The crazy lady section of Barnes and Noble.
Yeah. Love that section.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily believe that much in like mysticism or magic. But what I love about tarot and why I sort of went back to it was I read this description of it that with tarot, really, you basically come with a question, right?
Yeah.
And then you shuffle the cards, and then you draw the card, and depending on what card you get, the card has like a theme and a story to it. And with ours especially, each card has a character with like a short little backstory, kind of, and like a description of the journey that card and character is on. And so then you get to look at your question through the lens of this new theme. So it's like bringing in a different perspective to look at your question, and then you kind of are able to utilize all of your personal history, your self-awareness, your knowledge of self, to sort of get the answer, or get an answer, or get
Different
an
kind of therapeutic vessel.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
It's sort of like using your own brain to achieve and to understand, which I think that the real magic in life is our brains.
Oh my gosh.
You know, the thing, like, look at the
100%,
things that people are capable of.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you believe in like supernatural stuff? You've been in a lot of supernatural things.
You know, I always say about a lot of things that I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm open to it.
Yeah.
You know, just in case.
Yeah.
Open
I
to
don't,
all of it.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have any personal experience, but I do think like maybe, I don't know.
I've had a few things that either were manifestations of my anxiety or were ghosts. So
Like what? Like what?
Well, I was shooting in this like defunct mental asylum. It's this place in Vancouver where everybody shoots. So like we shoot there in Yellowjackets all the time. And when you're shooting there, it's this whole compound of an old
It's
hospital.
just normal to be in an insane asylum.
Yeah,
Cool.
But, yeah.
Okay.
And anytime you shoot there, there's like 5 other productions also shooting there. It's like the most popular shooting place in Vancouver. So back when I was 20, I was doing a movie called Prozac Nation, and I was shooting in this same mental asylum.
Yeah.
And I had left something upstairs where we'd been shooting, which was like supposed to be a hospital room with beds and all that stuff. Big room, lots of beds. And I went up to get it, and it was lunch, so nobody was in there. I went up and I got the thing, and I was coming down, and there were these stairs, you know, like the kind of stairs where you go down and there's a wall here, and then you turn around and there's another wall.
Yeah.
And I thought I heard footsteps, but I was like, was that actually my ears or was that in my brain? And I couldn't tell. And so then as I turned that wall and went to come down on this side, I saw just black shoes coming down. And I just went forward and just walked.
And at this point, you don't believe in it? Like, I'm
Well,
like, if you...
I believe in it enough that now when we shoot in the asylum and I'm by myself in the hallway or something, I kind of am like, don't mess with me. I know you're here. I don't care. You leave me alone. I am here for work.
I will leave you in peace. Anyway, catch us up on what's going on in season 3 with Yellowjackets.
Okay, well...
or whatever you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, So I don't want to spoil things if people aren't caught up with season 2, but I guess I have to set up season 3.
So this is your fault. Yeah.
It's your own damn fault if you're not caught up. And if you're not caught up, just don't listen to this part.
Yes.
So it ends. So last season, in the finale, my character accidentally killed her best friend Natalie.
Yeah.
And
spoiler.
Sorry.
Should've watched.
She's not coming back this season. So I'm explaining to you why. She's dead.
She is dead.
And Misty is very upset. So she's dead. And my character killed her by accident, and it was her best friend. So when we pick up the show from my character, she's dealing with a lot of grief and trying to connect to her grief, but she kind of can't feel anything.
Yeah.
So she goes to Natalie's storage unit to sort of clean it out for her, and ends up finding this jacket, which is Natalie's jacket, and she wears this jacket for the rest of the season as a way to. And once she puts on the jacket, she's then like connects to her in a different way, and then, you know, and this season is really fun. There's like an incredibly high body count. It's
the red wedding everywhere.
There's a lot of people get eaten.
Yeah.
Like more than one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say.
Well.
And it's like a lot of questions that people had get answered.
Ooh. Okay.
And it's really incredible, and it's really fun, and we have new characters that are introduced, and the younger cast storyline is like nonstop craziness, and then the adult storyline is like really interesting and mysterious, and also pretty crazy. Like, there's some really, like, I read one of the scripts with a scene with Melanie and another actor, and I was just like, no way.
Yeah. No. That's kind of exciting.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Are you gonna shoot this?
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
So everybody gets to enjoy that.